So apparently Big J has a whole lot to say, huh? That's right, the same Big J who spent the past 7 years CBCing, crying, bitching, and complaining about the Manosphere, Red Pill, MGTOW, SYSBM, and all these other male spaces. Now he wants to throw a 2-hour temper tantrum about it. And before I even begin, let's address the biggest the biggest elephant in the room, all the other elephants here. First off, Big J, yeah, you got a lot of shit to say about the Manosphere, MGTOWs, and all the male spaces, but ain't it funny? But ain't it funny though? You got all this shit to say, but you, Big J, is scared to name drop. You scared to show your audience their identity, which is quite ironic considering the fact, Big J, that you have no problem calling out Angry Man, calling out BGS Ibmore, calling out Anton Daniels, calling out Chaos Rain, calling out MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. You have no problem calling those men out. But anything related to the Manosphere and these male spaces, oh no, you can't call them out. You too scared to call them out. And for what? And for what, Big J? Afraid that you might give us free advertisement? Afraid that they might come and see you? I'm just guessing here. I don't know. But when it comes to the male spaces, Big J, you don't want the name drop. What, you scared, nigga? I ain't. JD Miles ain't scared to call anyone out that I'm addressing. I don't care how small they are or how fucking big they are. And yes, I took on bigger content creators. And that's another thing that I also don't get neither, Big J. Now you want to cry, bitch, and complain. You want to cry, bitch, and complain about us completely debunking the claims being made by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Goddamn, Big J. Goddamn, Big J. You must love being under Southern Poverty Law Center's dick. And keep this in mind. And keep this in mind about this as well. We gave the Southern Poverty Law Center and all these other groups pushing bullshit in regards to these male spaces. We gave them an open invitation. We gave them a chance to defend their claims. Not only are they scared to defend their claims, but everybody can clearly see just how full of shit they are. No, Big J. The Southern Poverty Law Center and groups like them, they can't sit here, make all these claims in regards to the Manosphere, MGTOW, Red Pill, and all these male spaces. They can't sit there and make claims and expect not to defend them when challenged. See, this is the reason why nobody's taking the Southern Poverty Law Center seriously. In fact, here's what makes the Southern Poverty Law Center hypocrites, Big J. They want to talk about how this group is a hate group, that group is a hate group, but keep in mind, Big J, there were times when the Southern Poverty Law Center itself were a hate group. From the Washington, D.C. library shooting to a political baseball game shooting. Both were perpetrated by members of the SPLC. Oh, Oh, I don't do my research, right? Yeah. And yeah, I already know Big J is going to try to play it off as if, oh, I'm not just talking about one person. I'm talking about a whole lot. Does it really matter, Big J, whether or not you're talking about one person, 100 people, 1,000 people, or a million and millions of people? The fact of the matter is this. We all know who you are referring to. But let's continue on because Big J wants to have this war again because he's still mad over the fact that he couldn't stop the manosphere. He can't stop Red Pill. He can't stop MGTOW. So now like a little baby, he wants to whine, cry, bitch, and moan over the fact that he didn't get what he wanted. And if the Southern Poverty Law Center claims that these male spaces are hate groups, then how come it's a struggle to stop these male spaces? How come none of these groups was able to stop the manosphere? How come the government was unable to stop the manosphere? From the Navy to the Secret Service to Homeland Security to FBI, you name it. And what's more, to make it embarrassing for Big J here, is that every time there was a group who attempted to stop the manosphere, how come it was Big J who always piggybacked off those groups? But he's supposed to be the most intelligent motherfucker on YouTube. In fact, everybody has to be dumb so Big J can feel like this smart big brain intellectual. But yeah, he's piggybacking off of other people's causes instead of creating his own. And when those same groups he's piggybacking and riding the coattails fails to stop the manosphere, fails to stop Red Pill, fails to stop MGTOW, fails to stop these male spaces, he does what he does best. CBC, cry, bitch, and complain about it. From 2008 till now, 7 years, he's been at this shit constantly and has nothing to show for it. And keep in mind, Big J been on YouTube way longer than me. What has he? It's almost 2 decades now. What has he accomplished? Or is he still complaining about the same problems he's been complaining about for the past 7 years? Now, let me go ahead and call out your fucking hypocrisy, Big J, because I already know you're going to be complaining about me using your image here. But keep in mind, Big J, aren't you the same one using other people's images? And don't sit here and bullshit. Yes, you do. But it's only a problem when people use yours. Just like how you don't want people to use your content. That's right. No, Big J don't want nobody to use his content. But every time you turn around, he's always got some of his videos has fair use on it of him using other people's content. Oh, it's only okay when Big J does that shit. Or how about in this situation? Big J still trying to make claims about, oh, people like myself, oh, we hate women and all this other type of shit. But no, Big J, this is what you say. I've been said long ago, I don't hate women. And there's a big difference between hating women and understanding women. And it's always funny and comical when Big J try to put words in other people's mouth. other people's mouth that he knows is complete and utter bullshit. But you put words in Big J's mouth that ain't true. He wants to act a fool. He wants to tear the fucking club up. Tear the club up. Tear the club up. But here's the question everybody's asking Big J. Why do you do the exact same shit you don't want other people to do unto you? And we all know the golden rule of the Bible. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, apparently Big J wants to treat others the way that he don't want to be treated. I mean, remembering last year, he wants certain content creators to go off of YouTube. He wants certain content creators gone off of YouTube. But when his channel becomes targeted, now all of a sudden he wants to cry foul. And even I told you, Big J, the reason why they targeting your channel is because you're trying to get rid of them. And it's because that you're trying to get rid of them, they now trying to get rid of you. And to be honest, no one should be trying to get rid of anybody. If people could clearly see that what they're saying and what they're doing is complete and utter bullshit, they will ignore that person. And that person will be a nobody. But no, Joe. Everybody now wants to do all this extra shit. Everybody wants to do all this extra shit. And as I also told Big J, everybody's pro-censorship until it is them that's getting censored. And when it's them that gets censored, now all of a sudden the shit is foul. But isn't this what he wanted, right? Exactly. And yeah, Big J, we get it. We get it. You're mad because you're not getting what you didn't get what you want. You're mad because you want the manosphere to go, but despite all the attempts, the manosphere is still here. And at this point, your only hope right now is that the manosphere implode on itself. You hoping that the manosphere gets destroyed from the inside out. In which does Big J need a reminder or something? Because Big JXXX still think that the manosphere is one big group thing. When in reality, the manosphere consists of different divisions. And as I also told Big JXXX, the reason why it's hard for them to stop the manosphere is because the manosphere don't think in this big tribal mindset, this Borg hive mind. There are different divisions in the manosphere, all of them doing their own thing. And to make it even more complex, and which Big J should know this shit by now, is that not all the groups in the manosphere, not all these groups of the manosphere get along with each other. Some don't even like each other. However, that's what makes the manosphere complex, because you can't go at the manosphere thinking that each and every group of the manosphere all think alike. This is the reason why each and every attempt to stop the manosphere has failed. First, they tried to take down the manosphere altogether, believing that it's one big group thing. It failed. After the fifth attempt, they went from trying to take down all the groups of the manosphere to now targeting certain individuals in the manosphere. Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit. Just Pearly Things, Sandman, you name it. And even that failed because they only did it in an attempt to try to discourage the groups of the manosphere, in which nobody fell for that shit. Then you had Diverting Hate in their male supremacist list until they got exposed fabricating their shit. Another fail. Then they tried to use a law that was put in place in the UK and tried to adapt it in the US. That also failed, not once but twice. The second time was during the presidential election, and we all know why y'all wanted Kamala Harris to be the president. And no, Big J, let's get something straight. Let's get something straight as well on this shit. You thinking that people such as myself is saying that you support Kamala Harris as a president. No, we all know that ain't true. No, Big J. You want Kamala Harris to win the presidency because that will give y'all another step closer to trying to censor the manosphere. That's the reason why I said what the fuck I said. It ain't got nothing to do with you supporting Kamala Harris at all. Boy, and we're not supposed to be, and we don't think on an intellectual level. Me personally, if I went to LSU and UCLA, got a bachelor's degree, a PhD, and a diploma, then you already know who you're dealing with here. Maybe Big J should take his own advice and go back to college. And no, Big J, I'm not hating on that. In fact, I encourage you to go back to school. I have no problem with people who wants to better themselves. If I could do it, everyone else can. But we are not going to allow you to go on this 2-hour rant over shit you don't like. In fact, nobody has 2 hours to do that shit. Me personally, I don't. And what's more, Big J, you're just a preacher. Well, in my eyes, you're just a preacher to me. I'm a frontline soldier. But as I say before, oh, that's right, you don't watch my content. In fact, you openly admitted to everybody that you don't watch other people's content, but rather you going off of what you believe is being said. Well, allow me to tell you this shit right here. Unlike you, Big J, I'm more than just a content creator. And there's a reason why you don't see me on YouTube all day, every day. In fact, this is a good title for this video. The preacher versus the frontline soldier. The soldier in the trenches. All you do is preach, Big J. I'm out here making shit happen. And yes, that is the difference between me and you. You talk. I put actions into play. You'll never compete and unless you step your game up, you will never come close to me. Mr. Oh, I'm the most intelligent motherfucker on these YouTube streets. Yeah, you got brains, but I got both brains and brawn. And that's something you can never take from me. But you want to know what really grinds my gears? It's when I hear you, Big J, trying to go after a MGTOW that is deceased. And you supposed to be this content creator that's supposed to be against talking about the deceased. Don't you know this shit makes you look like a fucking hypocrite? Shoot, there are MGTOW haters who are also deceased. Big J, why we don't speak ill about them? There's a reason why we don't. May they rest in peace. But not you, Big J. You're concerned about what's the last thing they say on their deathbed. Well, Big J, I seen a whole lot of people laying on their deathbed that gave out the most sick, twisted, disgusting confessions I ever heard, in which I can't even say on YouTube. Oh, believe me, I'm no stranger to death. But you, Big J, you trying to make it seem like this MGTOW, who is now deceased, has said the worst of the worst things he imagined on his deathbed. I heard, shoot, that what he said is tame compared to all the shit I heard. And on top of that, who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn about it besides you? He said exactly what he said. What, Big J? You think crying and bitching about it was going to change that? No, it wasn't. Let the dead rest in peace, you retarded fuck. All up on your 2-hour-long video worrying about whether or not women come to our channels. Again, who gives a fuck besides you? Oh, this is the same BIGJXXX claim that we hate women. Despite the fact that I have videos telling women the best ways to move, telling women the best ways to avoid getting in these certain situations. Oh, that's right. I forgot Big J don't watch. So he don't know shit. This is the reason why all he can do is assume. This is the reason why only thing Big J can do is assume. But then you sit there and wonder why people make him a mockery. Everybody's smarter than Big J. Everybody has to be dumb so Big J can be the high intellectual on YouTube. Get the fuck out of our face with that shit, man. But if Big J doesn't know what's being said on our channels, how does he know? How does he know it? What is Big J? What is Big J? This is Miss Cleo? Call me now for your psychic reading. Hell no. So if Big J doesn't know what we say on our channels because he don't watch our shit, how does he know? He doesn't. Crying about, he hasn't answered our questions. You haven't answered none of our questions either, Big J. So don't even sit there and try to front on that shit neither. All I see is just a lame, mad in his feelings because he did not get what he wanted. Big J is mad and in his feelings because he didn't get what he wanted. He wants the manosphere to go, but no matter how hard they try, the manosphere hasn't gone anywhere. And for the past 7 years, all these attempts to try to get rid of the manosphere has failed. And to make matters even worse, not only has it failed, but it failed consecutively. Back to back to back to back to back to back. But instead of going back, rethink their strategy and come up with a better solutions. No, you can't tell Big J nothing because Big J thinks he knows everything. He even crashes out on his own supporters when they trying to tell him something. God damn, I thank God I don't have a holier than thou mindset. No, seriously, I thank God I don't. And let me go ahead and tell you this, Big J. Yeah, I went to 2 universities. But I'm not on YouTube going around acting like everybody else is dumb so I could be smart. And the reason why you don't get along with people is because of your mindset. Always trying to insult other people's intelligence because you want to be the smartest motherfucker on YouTube. Well, let me show you something, Big J. Because this right here, I'm going to tell you about yourself oh so decent. Yeah, you see this, Big J? No, I want you to see this right here. Here's what they think about you. 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 You learn nothing from life if you think you're right all the goddamn time. And even the most highest intellectual on the face of planet Earth can admit when they're wrong. But not you, Big J. You think you're right all the goddamn time. When in reality, we all know that's bullshit. In fact, I learned this shit the hard way when I was at LSU. Nobody wants to be around people who got to put down people just to make themselves feel better. Just because they want to have this holier than thou mindset. And that's a fact. Now, I said what I had to say. I'm done with BIGJXXX's bullshit, and I'm out this bitch. Later.